Hello everyone, Skyrinwood here, and welcome back to my playthrough of Assassin's Creed Origins. Last time we left off, we did a couple of side missions, more or less trying to level up my character. Got dunked on a few times by some high-level characters that I tried to take on that, yeah, did not work out at all. If you wasn't here for last night's stream, make sure you go and check that out. But anyway, without further ado, we're going to continue on. We're actually already in the middle of a mission because I ended the stream in the middle of a mission, so we're just going to continue on with it.
You have a gang?
Yes, I'm the most important child in Cyrene.
I can see that, Ezio.
Let's go to the baths. It's where people walk around naked, being scraped and scratched and rubbed with oils. I hate getting my hair wet, don't you, Bayek?
It is why I shaved it off, Ezio. And washing behind the ears, I bet.
Yes, some fancy Roman from the Citadel built it. Vitor. Well, anyway, he spent 10,000 drachma on a floor made of little squares. All that for some way you wash. When I grow up, I'm going to have a wife who'll never make me wash.
Wives like that are hard to find, Ezio.
What am I supposed to do?
Did you jump from up there?
The top of the buffs? That's
There.
a death sentence.
Sure, Ezio. I could do that with my eyes closed.
Come on, everyone. Come see Bayek fly.
No one can climb that high, can they?
See? Didn't I tell you he was brave?
Oh my days! What if he falls?
He's stickier than a lizard.
Let's do it.
Yeah! Yeah!
Some of those scaredy cats thought you'd
I
missed
have
the
never
cart.
seen the
But I
light.
never doubted you.
It's impossible,
I wasn't
right?
sure myself, Ezio.
He swoops through the
So
air
where next?
like an eagle.
You're Egyptian, right? My father says you don't worship the same gods as we Greeks.
We have some in common. Like Serapis.
Oh yes, Serapis. I've heard of him. Apollo is all Greek and my favorite. He likes poetry, music, wine, and all that kind of stuff. But I like him because he has a bow and arrow and he likes to hunt. Do you like to hunt, Bayek?
I do. I used to hunt with my boy, Ezio.
If you jump from his temple there, then maybe he'll be watching from Mount Olympus and reward me with my own bow and arrow so I can hunt rabbits in the woods.
I would like to see that.
This is it. Isn't Apollo marvelous?
What's going on, Hank? How you doing? And welcome to the stream.
Up a bay feeling. Ooh.
We're all watching.
I can't watch. Tell me when it's over.
He's so brave. Have you ever seen someone so brave?
And I'm the one who found him. Apollo is sure
Doing
to
good.
reward me now.
Can't complain.
You did it! You did it!
I have one last leap in mind for you, Bayek. Are you ready for your greatest challenge?
Well, that depends.
Alfred Bayek does the impossible. Alfred Bayek does the impossible.
Let's go to the next jump.
Κεραυναίων βία. Τι είναι τούτο έστι.
Well, you did promise a challenge, Ezio.
Nobody's allowed up there except the Romans. But you look like you can handle a few measly bucket heads. Are you ready, Bayek? I present the Acropolis.
I should not be seen in this area.
Can't you jump some more, Bayek? Please, it's my birthday. Liar! That was last month.
I will not forget this day, Bayek. We should honor it. I officially name you the Flea of Cyrene.
I will treasure it. Goodbye, Ezio. Stay out of trouble.
I can't promise, but I will try for you, Great Flea. I hope you get to hunt with your son again soon.
So do I, Ezio.
Well, that was a pretty easy mission. But it was pretty cool too. I really love Bayek's personality. I mean, he's a hard ass, don't get me wrong. I mean, the dude, you know, obviously can kill when he needs to kill, and I mean, you know, fight with the best of them and stuff. But the fact that he's just, you know, he has such a great personality to me. One of the more, I would say, pretty cool personality types in an Assassin's game that I have come across, really. The main character, and as much as I despise this game, but the main character of that was in Assassin's Creed Unity, he had a pretty good personality too. I mean, he was more or less, you know, troublemaker, really, you know. I mean, young, inexperienced, obviously, you know, he has his own way of doing things and stuff, and it was kind of interesting. I mean, I did play the game. I want to say it wasn't even halfway through. I played like maybe 5 or 6 hours of the game, so I did invest enough in to really be able to say, hey, you know, I do like his personality. I don't know how he developed throughout the rest of the game, so I can't sit up there and definitively say that his personality was better than Bayek's, but the reason I like Bayek's personality is because he's just so, you know, regardless of what has happened in his life. I mean, this guy has lost his son, his way of life has just been changed. I mean, dude was locked up for like, what, I think 11 months, a year or more and everything. He didn't let it change who he was, you know. Yeah, he's out for revenge, and in a way I can honestly say that it's kind of like he's on this journey like Kratos from God of War, where he's so blinded by hatred for his enemy and everything like that, that he, you know, is willing to just go on ahead and do what it takes to get the job done. But I can't really inherently compare him to Kratos because of the fact that Kratos didn't really have a personality other than just anger, hatred, all that good stuff, you know. I mean, even though you know, Kratos loved his family and all that, he still just had a hard time really just accepting their death and all that good stuff, you know, to the point where he just wasn't so angry all the time. And it sucked because I really felt for Kratos, but at the same time, he was just this guy that showed no mercy and no personality other than just anger and revenge and hatred and just all kinds of stuff, you know. But with Bayek, him going through, and I mean, you know, he didn't lose his whole family. And I think that probably is what pushed Kratos over the edge, because he lost his son and his wife, versus him, you know, Bayek, who just lost his son. And, you know, one could sit up there and say, oh, well, you know, one is worse than the other. And I do agree. I mean, losing 2 people versus losing 1 person, to some degree, I guess, could be considered, you know, worse. But at the same time, I'm also sitting up there saying, you know, losing anybody in general is just bad. It doesn't really matter. And, you know, it feels kind of weird just, you know, saying which one is worse or whatever like that. But anywho, the point I'm trying to make is throughout that, you know, travesty in his life of losing his son, he still didn't lose his personality. He's very fun-loving. You know, he has that patience and everything, especially when it comes to children. I think because of his son and everything, you know, he has that patience and that fun-loving attitude and nature with children. But he also has it with grown-ups as well and everything. He keeps an open mind. He makes jokes. He likes to have fun. He keeps his friends close and everything like that. He knows, you know, he still has a duty to his wife and everything. So there's just a lot about him that I really just enjoy. I know I've been spending a lot of time when it comes to this game talking about the different aspects that I find to be different and jarring, you know, comparing it to Assassin's Creed Syndicate. And, you know, I haven't spent, I don't think I've spent enough time talking about the good things about this game. And honestly, there's a lot to be talked about when it comes to the good parts of this game. I like the fact that the difficulty spike has significantly went up. And yeah, you get to change between, you know, you get to change the difficulty as well. I'm doing my playthrough on normal, just in case anybody was wondering. But you know, the difficulty spike is a welcome change because even on normal, which normal is usually something I can handle pretty well. Even on normal, I'm finding it to be a bit difficult at times, you know. But it's a good thing, you know. It's not like, oh my gosh, it's so ridiculously, you know, hard that it's annoying or impossible. Like, that's not the case. It's just, you know, it's a welcomed difficulty spike because you don't get away with stuff the way you did in Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Syndicate, you could walk into enemy camp that is 5 levels higher than you, and as long as you assassinated the leader, you were good. And that's what it came down to. You know, in that game in Syndicate, whoever you assassinated, like, or whoever you attempted to assassinate, they were pretty much, they would die, you know? It didn't matter if they were 5 or 6 levels higher than you. If you know, snuck up behind them and assassinated them, they would die. In this game, however, that's not the case. In this game, if you try to assassinate somebody who's a level higher than you, or a couple of levels higher than you, whatever, the most you're going to do is damage them. That's about it. And then you have a fight on your hands. So it's not as easy as it was in Syndicate, where literally everybody was susceptible to being stabbed in the neck and dying. In this one, you just run the risk of pissing somebody off, and an all-out fight breaks loose. So, you know, I like that difficulty spike. I like that change. I love the Egyptian culture and everything. So, this was great. You know, when I first heard the announcement about this game and where it was going to be taking place, I was so excited. Because I had actually been talking about the possibility of them doing one taking place in Egypt. So, when I said it, and it actually came true, I was just really excited about that. You know, I was just like, oh yeah, cool, I just literally talked about this. So I was really happy about that, you know. And you know, I just love Egyptian culture. I love everything that has to do with it. So the fact that, you know, I get to play a game like this, learn so much too. I made mention about this before. I love the Ubisoft staff that works on Assassin's Creed because they really go all out with doing their research and their study. Like, it's very rare that they get something wrong, you know? It's usually going to be very correct. They will travel to, like, when it came to Syndicate, they traveled all the way to England and did their research, looking at these buildings, looking at these streets, studying the archives and the libraries, asking the locals. I mean, really getting a feel for what it was like to live back in the Victorian era in England. And still going around, I mean, they're searching through records, they're looking at old pictures. They wanted to make sure that everything was correct. Even the placement of certain political figures or popular figures, such as William Churchill, Florence Nightingale, to make sure that they would have been in that area around that time. And it was true. So they got it historically correct, you know, visually correct and everything, which I thought was outstanding, you know, because like I said, they really did do their research on it. With this one, it was the same exact thing. It's never changed in any Assassin's Creed game they've done. They've never changed that formula in which they really do their research. They really study and everything to make sure that they're getting everything correct to represent that country, or well, basically, yeah, to represent that country in the correct way. They don't want to disrespect anybody, especially anybody who is, who hails from Egypt, or dabbles in Egyptian culture or whatever in any way. They don't want to offend them by any way by getting something so wrong that it's it's disrespectful, I should say. So, yeah, I mean, I just really enjoy uh, the detail that was put in this game and everything. Like I said, looking at everything, finding all the synchronization points, just so you can like basically just so you can see the entirety of this world, the entirety of Egypt, and just how vast it really, really is. And that's another, thing I'm a harp on, is the fact that this game is just so fast. This is the biggest Assassin's Creed game ever, in terms of just sheer mass and everything. Most games, or most Assassin's Creed games, are pretty finite. With this one, it's actually, there's a lot more. Almost as open world as you can get in an Assassin's Creed game, really. And I really do appreciate that. It's a welcome change. I really do like it. I kind of griped about the fact that they got rid of the Eagle Vision technique, because it did, again, make things a lot easier when it came to infiltration and discovery and exploration, different things like that and stuff. However, I'm gonna go and say, you know what, again, a welcome change. At first I didn't like it, and I think that's just how it is when you're playing a game that's, fairly new. You kind of over-criticize it because you have no choice but to compare it to its predecessors. And although I know that's not fair, I still feel as though it's just something that you naturally do. If you're playing the 8th entry in the Assassin's Creed franchise, the natural thing to do is compare it to its predecessors and say, oh, well, this is, I'm doing this because of this or whatever like that. But honestly, when it comes down to it, I really, actually like a lot of the changes that came to this game. At first, it was a bit jarring, and it took some getting used to. But ultimately, I really did enjoy everything that this game had to offer new. So yeah, I mean, the Eagle Vision, them getting rid of the Eagle Vision, that was a bit upsetting at first because I just, I literally just did a playthrough of Syndicate before I started this game. And because I did a playthrough of Syndicate before this game, I really just I just got a trophy called Shadow of Egypt. I think you had to assassinate 20 people, or so I can't remember. You have to assassinate a bunch of people or whatever, I'm assuming. This game is great, a lot to appreciate. Exactly. Like, I didn't appreciate it at first. I'm not gonna lie. When I first started this playthrough of this game, I honestly, like I said, I literally was coming off of just completing Syndicate. And everybody who knows me knows that Syndicate is my favorite Assassin's Creed game, for a lot of reasons. And, for me, I was just like, well, this is different, and this is different, and this is different. I can't get used to this. And then, like, I really started to actually play this game and get myself involved, and I said, you know what? I really do like this stuff. Yeah, there's a few things about the game that I can complain about. But again, I don't think there's any game that can go, even Syndicate, as much as it's my favorite game, there are things about that game that I complain about. Final Fantasy 15, I did a playthrough of that. My second favorite Final Fantasy of all time, and I still, harp on it a lot about the things that they got wrong. No game is without sin. There's always something wrong with the game in some degree. It doesn't mean that the game is terrible. No, it just means that there are some things that, they just didn't get right, or you wish they would have fleshed out more. With this game, like I said, I started it up not really knowing anything about it. I hadn't watched any other YouTube videos about it. I didn't want it to get spoiled by any means, at all. So I went into this fully blind and with high expectations, because it's coming off of a franchise that I really do adore. And I love Assassin's Creed games and everything. So it had a lot, uh, you know, hanging in the balance and everything for me when it came to judging this game. And I criticized it hard in the beginning. Not so hard as to just be stupid. I mean, no, I wasn't like, picking on the little things. It was just stuff that I felt personally I wish they would have done a little bit better. And now that I've played a lot more of this game, this is like my 13th or 14th gameplay, I really do appreciate those subtle nuances of this game, the subtle intricacies and everything to let you know this is different. This is a totally different Juggernaut from the others, and they did it in such a great way. Heard a lot of people with same viewpoint. Yeah, I did my research after a while to kind of find out if I was the only one who was griping about certain things about this game. Come to find out, no, not at all. There was a lot of people who had similar, things or whatever, so similar complaints when it came to this game. And honestly, I don't, I don't have those complaints anymore, to be honest. At least not with the ones that I felt now are just petty. Like I said, the Eagle Vision thing, at first I was upset, but I've absolutely fallen in love with Sinu. Like, I think it's a great concept. I think that it presents, just a very different approach to not only combat, but infiltration as well. I never thought about the fact that I can hang off the edge of a cliff and then send Sinu up to look to see what's ahead of me. Like, I've never had that, and it can also mark, your enemies as well. And I was like, I never thought to use Sinu like that. Like, Sinu to me was just, this very, cool bird or whatever and stuff. I never thought, holy crap, I can actually use this bird for strategic purposes and not just to mark my next mission. Like, and that's what I was doing with it, Sinu. I was like, they would say, oh, call Sinu. And I would call Sinu, and then you would mark where your target is, and then that was it. And then I'm realizing I can use Sinu to not only mark my enemies so I know exactly where they are, but also give me a wider viewpoint of what's coming up. So that way I don't go in blind. And I'm like, no, we can't, infiltrate buildings or nothing. But as long as there's enemies on the outside, Sinu can definitely, look at it. And then also, Sinu can attack and distract. You can send Sinu to just basically distract your enemies. And I think that is so freaking cool, like, you can just do that. Like, but, again, I was judging this off of my first playthrough. And, or not even first playthrough, my first gameplay, really. And I don't think that was fair. Now that I have been able to play this game a lot more, I can really appreciate it for what it's worth and say that, Assassin's Creed had to change. Excited about the future. It did have to change, I do agree, and I think that's what a lot of people are just afraid of when it comes to video game franchises, is the fact that, sometimes your franchise has to change up the formula a little bit. And it's, it's like with Final Fantasy with me. When I first played when I was first introduced to Final Fantasy, I was introduced to Final Fantasy VII. I loved Final Fantasy VII. People know that it's my favorite Final Fantasy game of all time. It really is. I love everything about it. And not because of the gameplay. Sure, the gameplay was, for the time, kind of fun. But I just love the story. The story was so great. I hate Cloud Strife as a main character. I hate him. I think he's too damn emo and whatever the fuck. But I really did enjoy the entirety of that game. Even Cloud being as emo as he was, I still enjoyed the game. I really did. But yeah, like, I love Final Fantasy VII. And for a while, the formula was always the same, which was turn-based. A lot of people does not, even to this day, does not like turn-based fighting in an RPG. But I loved it. I thought it was great. I love turn-based fighting because it gave me time to actually plan my next move and all that good stuff instead of that active, turn-based fighting, that I've seen in a couple of other JRPGs where it's like, yeah, you're trying to strategize, but while you're trying to strategize, you're constantly getting hit over the head with like a ton of magic or attack spells or whatever like that. So for me, it was just like, you know what? No, I'm just gonna go on ahead and, stick to the turn-based. And then I want to say Final Fantasy 12 came out, and 12 was the first time they ever broke away from the turn-based fighting, and I was so upset about that. And I was also nervous too. I'm like, oh my god, how is this going to turn out? Like, I've never played an RPG in which it wasn't turn-based in some way. So I was really upset, and I knew that Square Enix wanted to change up their formula because they needed to change with the times. Their audience was growing, and so they needed, their audience was growing, and with a new audience came younger audience, younger, hipper audience that wanted a different type of challenge, a younger, hipper audience that doesn't have the patience to deal with turn-based fighting. So for me, I was like, you know what, I'm still part of that generation that appreciates the turn-based fighting. I don't know how I'm going to handle this. And honestly, when I played 12, and I was so, upset about the fact that they, took this whole thing away or whatever, when it came down to it, honestly, I absolutely loved it. It was so much fun. 12 was by far probably one of the most unexpected changes to come, but it was so welcomed. After I got over my fear of not being able to beat the game, or, not being able to get used to the fact that it was turn-based and everything. But I honestly, just played it in its entirety, beat it, loved it, said, okay, this is something I can get used to. And upon doing so, it also came, they came out with, I want to say it was, Final Fantasy 13, which, of course, it got mixed reviews. A lot of people really didn't like it, but I absolutely loved 13. I thought 13 was so great. A lot of people looked at 13 and was just like, dude, this is like the worst game ever. And for me, I don't think it was the worst game ever. Honestly, I think that it was so great. A lot of people said it suffered from that corridor effect in the beginning, in which I do agree, but I think it was more or less trying to focus on getting you used to the controls versus anything else. I went from this. I like the change. Yeah, I'm like, whoa. Is that fire following me? That fire's following me. What is this? What is life? Get off me. Get off me. Get off me. Aha. Fire can't climb up a building. Haha. Been playing a while. Yep. I mean, yeah, people have to, you either embrace change or you hate it. And for me, I just really, it varies with me. Sometimes I think change is a good thing, especially when it comes to if a franchise is suffering from that wash, rinse, repeat syndrome, where it's just like the same thing over and over and over again, only with a different protagonist or whatever like that. Kind of like what GTA 5 or GTA is going through. I'm sorry, but that's exactly what's happening with GTA. You took a great concept and then basically turned it into the same game over and over again for the past 7 or 8 years. They could do so much more with that and everything. Yeah, you came out, but like with Saints Row, essentially GTA on steroids. You have Saints Row, which, I mean, in comparison to GTA, I know GTA is a lot more popular than Saints Row, but I can appreciate Saints Row for trying to be ambitious enough to want to, change up a little bit. Now, instead of just having, thugs going around beating the crap out of people or finding whores to have sex with or whatever, you are introduced with these people who are thugs, but they also have powers. That's pretty freaking cool. I mean, I don't care who you are. You can appreciate something like that. They have powers. That's pretty cool to me. I mean, I never thought, looking at Saints Row, even looking at its cover, you're like, oh, okay, well, this is just going to be your typical, run-of-the-mill, whatever, thuggish kind of game or whatever stuff and everything. I really don't know how you would categorize that. But at the same time, I was just like, oh yeah, I'm really looking forward to playing it, just to kind of say that I did play it. And then once I played Saints Row for the first time, and I realized, wait a minute, hold on a second. What? Aliens came? What? What's going on here? Like, I thought this was gonna be. Everybody kept telling me had played this. Like, oh, do you like GTA? Yeah, I like GTA. It's okay. Well, yeah, you'll definitely love Saints Row then. It's like the same thing. Cool. Okay then. All right, refill that coffee. I know coffee's important. Yes, please. But yeah, again, I'm sorry if I'm talking you guys to death. I really do apologize. I was, like I said, I was just thinking about that right there, and I was just like, you know, I really do. I was looking back at, you know, before when I was talking about this game. And I was talking about this game in a way where I felt like it, like I said again, it was kind of unfair for me to say the things that I was saying in regards to this game. And oh, how did you run right past him? Thank you. You ran like right past the dude. But yeah, like I said, it was just, you know, a few things that I pointed out and everything about this game that I just really didn't like and everything, and I don't think that I gave it its fair justice and stuff. So I wanted to go on record saying that I was wrong, that the game wasn't as terrible as I said it was, as far as just like, you know, comparing it to Syndicate and everything. It really wasn't fair. Or anything like that and stuff. I really do like this game for what it is. Again, not saying that it's, you know, not without its flaws, because it definitely has its flaws. I'm not saying it's the perfect game ever, or a game of the year, or whatever like that and stuff. No, that's not what I'm saying. Which kind of sucked, if you think about it, really. Honestly, I was thinking about this the other day. I was actually talking to my wife about it. This game got gypped so badly when it came to the Video Game Awards, because it was literally overshadowed by some juggernaut of games, and it didn't stand a chance. It didn't stand a chance of getting voted or anything. This game came out around the same time that Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild was out, Super Mario Odyssey, Persona 5, Nier Automata, some huge juggernauts in the gaming community. And this game was like barely a blip on the radar. I remember when this game first premiered, or first, you know, that's another preview for this game for the first time. I was thinking to myself, oh, a new Assassin's Creed game, sweet, that's gonna be cool. Immediately afterwards, they showed the preview for Super Mario Odyssey, and I'm like, dude, oh, I can't wait to play that game. I was talking to my wife, I'm so excited, I'm like, babe, you gotta play Super Mario Odyssey, like, it's just so great. And then around the same time, I was also playing Persona 5. My wife was playing Persona 5. So, yeah, Battlefront, World War II. There was so many good games that came out. And Assassin's Creed was barely a blip on the radar. And I think it got gypped because of that. Because, think about, you know, Breath of the Wild won Game of the Year. So many different awards. Persona 5, JRPG of the Year. Nier Automata, that was getting awards for music and everything. There was so much going on. And all those, I mean, there was nowhere you could go where Super Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, Persona 5, what were the other ones? The Nier Automata wasn't being talked about. Nobody was talking about Assassin's Creed Origins. Not one person. And playing this game, I don't see why. I don't see why nobody was talking about this game. This game is absolutely stunning. It's beautiful. The music, very atmospheric where it needs to be. Bayek as a main protagonist is just very intriguing. I love this man to death. You want him to win. You want him to get his revenge. It's not like you haven't seen this before. Played plenty of games in which, you know, the main character loses a family member of some sort or whatever. That's not why I like Bayek. That's not why I want Bayek to win. I like Bayek and I want him to win because even though he lost his son, he never lost himself. That, like, you know, again, and I hate to keep on harping on this, but he doesn't have that Kratos, you know, effect. Kratos lost his child and his wife, and just he lost any kind of personality he might have had. I don't know. Who knows if Kratos had the ability to crack a joke before all this went down? But I can't see him doing that. Bayek, yeah, he lost his son in a very horrific way, but it didn't cause him to just lose sight of who he really is. He still has a mission to take care of his wife. He still has, you know, he's still, you know, on a revenge, you know, quest as well. Wants to kill everybody who was involved with the death of his son. But, you know, he still has a personality. He still likes to joke around, fun-loving. He just has a really, even the mission that I did when I first started this particular gameplay, he's running around with kids, like, just joking around with them. He's like, make sure you wash behind your ears. I'm like, who does that? You know, he never lost son. I mean, the thing is, not only did he lose his son, but he was locked away for upwards of, what, a year? 3? I can't remember exactly how long, but if I would have lost my son and then immediately got locked up after that, like, and couldn't even go to see my wife, all I'm thinking about the entire time is revenge. And if I'm you know, focused on nothing but revenge that entire time, who knows how it's going to, you know, overall, how it's going to change me overall. Who knows? I could be just this revenge-driven sad sack or whatever, anger-fueled man who doesn't, you know, appreciate anything around him or whatever, or just, you know, doesn't develop any friendship or closeness or whatever. This man still wears his badge with honor. He still helps anybody in need. He's like Egypt's, you know, version of a superhero, of Superman. He goes around helping anybody in need. He does it because he's a Magi, and he takes that title seriously, very seriously. And he knows, as a Magi, he's a protector of the people. He helps people. That's what he does. That's why he wouldn't stay in Siwa when his boy was like, hey, dude, just stay here. We'll go get your wife. He said, no, my duty is to my people. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to do whatever I got to do to help everybody that I can, and also get revenge on, you know, the people who killed my son. And I'm like, you know what? This dude is freaking awesome. You know what I'm saying? It's still good. I love Bayek. He's like one of my favorite male, or, well, yeah. I say male because, honestly, you know, there's no, since there's female main characters now, that's just pretty good. There's a lot of guys in here. What you guys doing? You guys on lunch break? What's going on? Like 4 of them in here. Look at this guy. No, wait, hold on. No, stop, because he's gonna light it. Get away. Nah, you're on fire. Don't touch me. Anybody else? A lot of people in here. Killed all of them, though, I can tell you that much. No, they didn't see it coming. But yeah, one of my favorite male, you know, protagonists, you know, within this series and everything, obviously, like I said, him. And, you know, it goes without saying, like I told you guys, I love Jacob, you know, and I love the main character of, the main protagonist of, as much as I hate the game, Unity. I didn't even play the game. I mean, I didn't get to beat the game. But I did like his personality. He just seemed like he was, you know, very young, ambitious, fun-loving. Kind of like Tidus from Final Fantasy X, but not as annoying. Yeah, I just really enjoyed, you know, like I said, his character and everything like that and stuff. I liked his personality. Bayek, by far, my favorite, and of course everybody knows my favorite female. Oh, God, Evie. They didn't do her any justice when they aged her up, though. If you guys hadn't played Syndicate, or if you haven't played the DLC with Syndicate, Jack the Ripper, it takes place, what was it, 15 years in the future? Is it 15? Yeah, about 15 years in the future, 15 years after the events of the game of Assassin's Creed, Evie moved to India with Henry, and where they got married, and, you know, he was teaching her, basically the ways of the Indian assassins or whatever. So, yeah, that was great. Great concept. What you call it decided to stay behind. I don't know why I'm wasting my time here. I've been using same outfit. I've been switching up my outfits. I was using Ezio's. I was using a bath towel for a little bit. Then I was using Ezio's. Now I'm using Edward's. Probably gonna do something else later on. We'll see. All just depends, really. 37. What level am I at? 35. Nowhere near that. Are you not entertained? It's saying that I'm. It's normally if it's red, that means it's out of range or whatever stuff. But it's not red, so I don't know. But anywho, Way of the Gabriel. No idea what that is, but all right, let's do this. Wow, that is far away. That is really far away. Holy cow. 8,000. Ah, that seems like fun. What is this? Oh, is that the area? Yeah, that's the Gladiator Arena. Gladiator Arena was fun. I did that last night. If you guys missed that, definitely go check it out. Gladiator Arena is actually a lot of fun. Came in second place overall, which is great, just so great. Okay, so yeah. Oh, so close and yet so far. Let's go. Alright, cool. Fast travel as close as we can get and then continue on with this journey, have some fun. I know you guys are probably bored with hearing me talk, ramble on about nonsense right now. But yeah, that did my girl Evie wrong. Like I was saying, 15 years. You go back, Jacob decided to stay in London, got himself caught up with Jack the Ripper. Evie hears word about it, comes to rescue him, and when you see Evie in the face, it's like, jeez Louise, 15 years was not kind to her. She used to be so beautiful, and now she was looking busted. I did not like what they did to her. I'm sorry. Everybody knows I got a crush on her. Not anymore.
All right then. Good.
Always got to stock up on this material. Alright, let's see. I don't buy none of that. Look at some of this upgrade. Bow. Tuncle. So beautiful, so beautiful. Anything else I can upgrade? Why not? I'll sell my stuff later. I'm not selling nothing on stream. Want to make you guys suffer through that, standing there for like 5 minutes selling everything I own just to get a little bit more money. Made that noise. Oh, okay. Switch outfits every 3 gameplays or so. That's what's up. I wonder what other outfits I have now that we're talking about outfits. I know I have a few. I just would that will be a complaint of mine. What this game is, I wish they would have at least let the or had the outfits give you some kind of, I don't know, something, an upgrade or whatever, like, in your defense, like with Syndicate and everything. You got to, like, if you wore a certain outfit, you could double your, double how much you can wear and everything like that, or how many knives you can carry, or hallucinogenic darts or whatever like that. Just basically doubles all of your ammunition within your inventory. I wish they would have did that, but it it's enough. Just knowing that you could upgrade, like, what I'm saying, at the bottom, collecting materials. They literally make this, it's you got, you're banging for your buck with this game. You're gonna pay $60 out of the ass to get a game like this and everything. You're definitely gonna be getting the bang for your buck because there is so much to be done in this game. You're not gonna be blowing through this game in like 30 hours and it's in its entirety, leveling up to the max and collecting everything that you can in no 30-hour time frame. That's not happening. You are probably going to be playing this game for upwards of 100 hours or more just to be able to get the full effect. And the replayability is there too. It's definitely there. The story is cohesive enough to where it makes me want to, like, after I get finished playing this in its entirety, where I've literally done everything there is to do, get the platinum trophy in it, and then go on ahead and continue on. When I come back to revisit this game, the only thing I'm really going to have to worry about doing is just enjoying the story. And that's it. And like I said, there is a story to be had. And I don't think that they undersold the story. What I think is outstanding, and I was talking to my wife about this, is that every side quest in this game, every side quest has its own story. It might be the same formula where you go when you rescue somebody from a jail cell, or you go when you kill somebody in their sleep, or whatever the case may be. It's always something. But at the end of the day, this guy, man, leave me alone. I hate that they hit you with their boats when they're trying to give you a ride. People, he sounds so aggressive too. Like, he's asking me to get on the boat and everything because it's dangerous in the water, but you don't have to do it so aggressively. Just be nice. What's up, Mr. Lion? How you doing? I was gonna let you live, but you came up on me, like you know me. And you're a young lion too. But yeah, every side quest is just there's some kind of story to go along with it, and I think that that's awesome. That's pretty cool. Syndicate suffered from that wash, rinse, repeat kind of thing. It sucked because literally every place that you went to, it was the same old mission, over and over and over again. Different people, sure, but it was the same thing. No story to go with it, no nothing. It was just, yeah, here's some kids you have to help untie and free. You had the same, little side missions or whatever like that. Yeah, let's see if you can free all these people without setting off the alarm. Cool. You go to the next city and thinking, all right, it's gonna be the same thing, and guess what? It is same exact thing. Save the kids without setting off the alarm. And I'm sitting up here like, are you serious right now? Who's shooting at me? What did I do to you? Is it because my bird is attacking you? I'm sorry. He can get a little, or she, I should say. I gotta stop this shit. Ow. Dude, stop killing me. Well, that was embarrassing for him. Just certain people you shouldn't pick a fight with, in my opinion. Certain people you should just leave alone. Bayek is one of those people.
Right position, Gere.
Oh, there we go. Boom. This guy is just in fantastic shape, running all over the place, swimming, jumping from high buildings. I know I probably would still be in Alexandria with my stamina. Look at this boat. Look how fast they're coming up. Dude, I'm good, man. I don't need the boat. I've made this comment before, but if you can imagine if you were like on your way to work and you're walking to work, and all of a sudden a cab driver just pulls up on you and hits you with his car talking about, do you need a ride? Like, chill out. Like, you're so aggressive. Good. Almost. And, oh crap. But, Mudbone, question for you would be, what is your favorite Assassin's Creed game out of all of them? Inquiring minds would like to know.
I'm coming with your wine. May your days be filled with
What
the
did he
light
just say?
of Ra.
Assassin's Creed 2. Okay. Okay.
Ah, look who has returned. Bayek of Siwa. Perfect that you have met us in Heraklion, city of wine, women, whatever a magi like you desires and deserves.
Man, drink straight from the bottom.
To the queen.
Bayek, you arrive at an opportune time.
Cleopatra, I'm still looking for the men who killed my son. The order is neutralized. Was my hunt for me or for you?
I have 2 more names. The order can't be
And how many more names after that?
as many as it takes.
I wish to bring my son to the afterlife where he belongs, not... Ah, I like you, Cleopatra. But the royal matters that seduced my wife do not sway me so.
What does the badge mean to you? Have you forgotten?
This badge means more to you than it does to me.
This is not one man we are fighting. Nothing ends simply. Aya has understood that you have a new reality. I am your pharaoh. You are Magi to all of Egypt. Follow me. We have a gift.
Anybody else notice that his hair and beard grew back extremely fast?
Speaking of Magi,
I
any
mean, when
news
he
of
met up
Aya?
with his wife and
Aya
everything
is
for the
still
first
defending
time
the
in
seas.
years or whatever like
We are
that and stuff.
expecting Pompey
I'm
and
taking
his
all of
fleet any
this.
day now.
Just letting you
To
know, I
unite
don't like
against
the
the
orders
order
when I'm
and
taking it.
change the land.
But yeah,
I
she
did see a
shaved
lot
him.
on my
She
hunts
shaved
that
his,
sickened me.
beard and shaved his
Our land is
head or
being
whatever like
oppressed
that.
greatly.
And now
I
his hair
realize
is
we
back.
cannot let
I don't
the
know how
order
long
rise
it's
again.
been, but good
Yes,
God,
Bayak.
he grows hair
The
fast.
two new names, the Jekyll and the Scorpion, are within my brother's inner circle. We believe they are the ones
I mean,
behind
his
the
hair is long
attempt
enough
on my
to tie it
life.
in a ponytail.
An attempt on your life.
I don't feel like
Are
that
your
much
brothers
time has
Philakis?
passed, but...
Hard to tell. A Gabignani, one of Septimius' warriors. They form a militia 2,000 strong. I had hoped to ally with them.
With Septimius? The Roman lug. He leads them.
Yes, the dreamer who posits himself as truly Egyptian, and yet sends a man to murder me. Not very Egyptian, if you ask me. Aya feels he is working for the Order, and has a proxy here named Venator.
Perhaps he is the masked one that forced my son's death upon me.
Votu! Just kill me already, you coward!
Shit, I deserve.
Here is your gift. He's in the order of ancients like Septimius. We found him snooping around the villa. We think he knows
Although
who killed
Black
your
Flag
son.
caught my attention. I loved Black Flag. I absolutely loved Black Flag. I'm not, like I said, Syndicate is still, you know, my favorite, but Black Flag was so much fun. I'm actually going to be doing a playthrough of Black Flag. It's been requested by a few of my viewers. My subscribers have been asking if I do a playthrough of that, so I definitely will be doing a playthrough of that.
Fuck those twins up! Venator!
Enough for you. I will press him for more information. I suggest you visit the brothel in town.
Yes. Go dig through this Dionysian town.
I liked all
And
of them,
unearth the
really.
plot against
Brotherhood.
us.
The only one I didn't care for too much, of course, was Unity. I can't really sit up there and say it's a fair judgment because I never completed the game, but the little bit that I did play of it, I just didn't like it.
Septimius is in town.
At
His name
all. There was
Philakis
way
is
too
a
much
man
missing.
named
You couldn't
Venator.
whistle. that really bugged me. That really bugged me. It was so jarring that you couldn't whistle to attract your enemies. It was riddled with glitches. I mean, the game was just terrible. I played it for about a good 5 or 6 hours, enough to feel, you know, get myself a feel of the game, and it was. I do appreciate change and differences, you know, amongst and everything, but it was just riddled with glitches, game-breaking glitches too. We're not talking about, I mean, this game has, you know, a few glitches in it as well, but it's nothing that would make me have to, you know, do a hard or soft reset, a reboot of the game. You know, it's just like, okay, well, you know, it is what it is.
Ah, a true warrior. I have a discount for... Wait. You're not with the Cabinianis, are you?
No, I am
And
not.
I haven't played Rogue yet
I am a
either.
Magi.
But I
Whoa.
heard good things about Rogue, so I am
Magi's
looking
used to
forward
come
to
here
play
all
Rogue.
the time. But not recently. Who do you work for, then?
Cleopatra.
I heard she was in town. Well, a Magi working for his father.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed 2
You
had a
must have
really
gold
good
to burn.
story. I do agree
I
with
would
you
like
on
to
that
speak
one. And
with
I
your
have all of
legendary
them,
twins.
actually. Well, not all of them. I have
Speaking
Assassin's
is
Creed
what
1
you call
through
it.
3 on
I
PlayStation.
suppose we
I
all
got it
have
in a
our
bundle
thing.
pack and everything.
The
So,
twins are going to cost
yeah,
you if
2
you want
did
to
have
speak.
a really
or
good story.
Anything else with them, Magi? Make yourself comfortable upstairs. The twins will come for you. They had a rough night yesterday, so don't speak too hard with them, hmm?
You wanted to speak to us?
I'm looking for a Gabignani named Venator.
Upstairs, not
Do
good.
not say that name.
He's a naked Iadet. I won't hold my tongue for that monster. Everyone is scared of him, but you should kill him. He's staying at the top of the square.
He won't be staying anywhere ever again.
be scared.
By Anubis, this place has been busy. Venator does not work alone.
Stay.
Loots, lipstick, and scented oils. While women of the street here, and Roman regalia. Odd. Seems Venator wants his men to mix well. Wine casks. This doesn't smell like wine, though. Oil in wine casks. Enough oil to burn down the whole city. Target practice on Cleopatra. Venator is training his Gabinianis for an assassination. My gods. A crafty plan. One of the men is posing as a woman. Must be to infiltrate the palace. Posing as wine merchants, they will dock and set a fire to cause a panic. With an archer ready to pick off the queen in the confusion. Somewhere high. Venator. More than just one of Septimius' dogs. You have your own puppets within the Order. I have to find them before they strike.
What's going on, Smokescreen? How you doing, buddy? Walked into a room, two characters were having sex. Just awkward. My bad, guys. Doing an investigation, looking for some clues. Continue on. Don't let my presence disturb you. Don't let it smoke ya.
Later on, I plan on playing the lute for the queen.
They will attack on sight here.
Can we return to the brothel? Let's leave Cleo.
I got the person I want. Do you think she might take me back? I highly doubt it. I don't think you should want her back. In my opinion, Smokescreen. Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I mean, if she literally broke up with you for literally no reason other than just do it, and then move on by getting somebody else, I doubt she'll take you back. However, I do feel as though, like I said, you're better than her. In my opinion. Crocopolis. Yeah, I walked into a brothel at one point in time in Crocopolis and didn't realize that it was a brothel. Everybody was like ass naked in there. I was like, wait, what? One more to go. Don't waste time. I wasted 8 years with those thoughts. Yeah. I understand exactly what you're going through, Smokescreen. What you think is love is called desperation. You want her only because you're lonely or you feel lonely, and you're forgetting about the fact that she did you dirty. This is the same girl that you said not only cheated on you 3 times. 3 times she cheated on you.
You are with the musician?
Also left you for no reason other than just to do it. Left you for another guy, as well.
He was an imposter. A Roman man who wants to kill the queen. I am doing you a favor.
You have to take that into consideration, man, because even if she was to take you back, I guarantee she's going to do it again. She's like a poison, dude, and you need to get rid of that poison by any means necessary. You gotta move on from there. There's somebody out there that's far better for you and everything. You're just gonna have to be patient, wait for that day to come. But if you're trying to pursue something that is damn near impossible, it's just not gonna be good for you in no way, shape, or form. I'm not desperate. I've never felt any way like this except for her. Well, dude, of course you haven't felt any way like this except for her because you haven't had anybody else except for her. In this sense and everything, you'll have that feeling again. You're just not even going to allow it to happen because you're just so desperately clinging on to somebody who doesn't want you. I mean, it's clear that she doesn't want you. I don't know, you know, what else to tell you in that regard. I mean, you've made it painfully obvious that this girl wants nothing to do with
Aya, my love.
Back!
I've had other girls, but I didn't feel this way for anyone but her. Hardest thing to do, but you are worth more than her time. Very true.
Move!
She said she still loves me. Dude, I told you. How can somebody love you if they've cheated on you 3 times, dude? Come on, think about that. I love my wife. I'm not cheating on her. That's not how I show my love for her. How does she show her love for you? By cheating on you every step of the way? Yeah, that's love. That's all kinds of love right there, in my opinion. No, it's not. My wife loves me. Is she out there cheating on me? No, she hasn't cheated on me not one time. Not one time has she cheated on me. That's not how you show love, dude. And somewhere deep down, Smokescreen, I feel like you do know that. You know that's not how you show love for anyone.
But I have better things to do.
Exactly.
Is this meant to be amusing?
My vote is right. I can think of 3. You can think of 3 different times in which she didn't love you. And those 3 times is when she freaking cheated on you.
Your queen is an unworthy bitch.
That is no way to talk about the goddess.
If you are a guardian of Egypt, the country will surely be dead in moments.
Keep talking. You'll soon find yourself without a head.
Did you stop by the brook and see my handiwork?
Your intimidation is sad. Come, let me give your car a break.
You fool to all. You think you can change any of our plans?
And I'm not trying to be, you know,
that is change enough for me.
Ruin your dreams or your hopes or whatever like that. Smokescreen, I understand.
We are the Gabignani!
Well, you know, that's great. It's one thing to forgive somebody. It's another thing to just be absolutely stupid.
Axis isn't enough.
And accepting her back right now would just be dumb, dude. I mean, it's toxic.
death.
If death requires dignity, then allow
I'm
me
not
to
saying
settle it.
you yourself
You are
is
the
dumb.
most
I'm
decorated
saying
official.
that the actions that you take would be pretty dumb.
Save a place in the duat for your brother Septimius. Hey, old man. Oh, are you injured?
Just a flesh wound.
She's just gonna keep using
I'm
you,
fine.
Smokescreen. She's just gonna keep
Nothing
using
hurts
you.
anymore.
And then
My
she's gonna
mind is
do
a
it
riot.
again to you, and then you're
All
gonna
I
come
have is
running
that I am
back
pushed
every
further.
single time
One more attempt to snuff
because
me
you
out.
don't find any self-worth.
I do not need rest. This civil war is no closer
You're
to
gonna
ending.
have to
I
find
need a
self-worth,
fucking
dude.
throne. My throne
Normally,
rots
if
in the
I'm
hands
all
of my brother.
for supporting relationships, I don't think a person
Instruct
should
Fox
just
to
give
best
up
prepare ship.
automatically
We
because
head to
things
meet
get
Pompey.
tough. No.
My last
But I
resort.
do feel like there's certain
You two go
things
ahead
within
and
a
tell them we're
relationship
coming.
that you just
Yes,
can't
my
change.
queen.
This girl is young. She wants to experience life. She wants to date different guys and do all that
If we
stuff.
don't
And
get
as
to
I told you
Pompey first,
before, she wants to
Septimius
have her
left.
cake and eat it too. There's something obviously that you give, and she likes that. I went through the same exact thing, buddy. The same exact thing. Of which I was with a girl who was saying that she loved me, who was saying that she wanted to do right by me and all this stuff, and the entire time she was basically poisoning me. And I was so fixated on trying to make it work, being the good guy, accepting her, forgiving her for everything that she did and everything, and I wasted 4 years of my life with this girl. And it sucked, and I can't get those years back at all. And I kept telling myself, no matter how many people tried to tell me, dude, you need to get away from her, I kept on making excuses. She would tell me, oh, I love you, and we're gonna make it work, and I would, I would forgive her, and then I would go back in, and we'd be right back at it. She was making me into a person that I wasn't. She was making to me a very angry, bitter, person, and I'm not like that. Anybody who knows me knows I'm a very happy-go-lucky, positive, optimistic guy, and she was turning me into the very opposite of that and everything. I was suspicious all the time. But Lord, I don't know if she cheated on me, but maybe she did. I don't know. But the things that she was doing, in my opinion, was far worse than cheating. And I just forgave her every step of the way. I thought that it was like the best thing ever. If I would have stayed with her, I wouldn't have met the woman that I'm with now, and I am far happier. And she was the woman that I was talking about before, the aforementioned woman. She was the girl that I first fell in love. She was my first love. My first love. And I was so fixated. I wanted to make that work so badly because of the fact that she was my first love. And it didn't work. It never worked. And it took me 4 years to realize that this girl was just not right for me. And where's she at? Come on.
We won.
Like I said, it took me 4 years to realize that, and I finally got away from her. And in doing so, by pulling it was hard. Trust me, it was hard because she was all I knew when it came to love for the longest time. And we broke up. We was actually married. We got a divorce. And after the divorce, we talked about, entertained the idea of us trying to make it work again. Whatever like that and stuff. And then I realized that there's no way that it was going to work again. Things were never going to go back to normal between us and everything. It was always going to be strained between us and everything. That she was always going to be who she was deep down, and she wasn't going to change. And then I finally let her go. And when I did, I met my current wife. Now, no, me and my current wife didn't get together right away after the divorce. Me and my ex got divorced back in 2011. And me and my current wife got together in 2014? 2014. So it took 4 years, or 3 years, I should say, to get to the point in which I found her. But when I found her, it was just a breath of fresh air. She doesn't make me feel that way, at all. She doesn't make me feel like I'm at a terrible, well, I can't say, she does get on my nerves sometimes, but, I think anybody that you love gets on your nerves every once in a while. It's just how it's supposed to be. If your woman isn't getting on your nerves, then
warning,
you know there's
Once we
something
board
wrong.
this
She's
ship,
supposed to get on your nerves,
there
but
is no
it,
turning back.
you know, at the end
And
of the
we
day,
finish with the
I
queen
know
on the
that I
throne,
love her, and I know that she
or
loves me.
each of
We
our
have never
heads on a
cheated
pike.
on each other. We've never
I understand.
talked about cheating on each other. We have never entertained the idea of cheating on each other or anything like that. We have always had each other's back. She's my best friend, essentially, and everything. You know, I can come to her and talk to her about anything. You know, and that's how it's supposed to be. There is no stress between us in the sense of like, oh, I feel like she's gonna leave me, or I feel like she's gonna cheat on me, or I feel like she's gonna disrespect me. No, we respect each other. We have differences of opinion, sure. We have different ways that we approach things. Yeah, we're yin and yang, but that's how it works between us because if there's things that I can't do, like she is a very, very driven woman. She's very hard headed. She's very stubborn. Me, I'm a go with the flow type of guy. For instance, if I go to the store or if I go to a restaurant and I order food and they bring the food out and the food is burned, me, the way my personality is, I'd just be like, fuck it, I'm just going ahead and eat it. My wife, however, she's the type that'll sit up there and say, you ordered your food medium rare, you're going to get your shit medium rare. She'll call them back. No, she won't make a scene, but she makes it a point to always, you know, make her point be heard and everything, you know. Me, like I said, not so much, and that works out for me because, like I said, I'm just a go with the flow and sit back and chill and, you know, whatever, see what happens kind of guy. She's that ambitious, driven, I'm going to go and I'm going to make shit happen type of woman. And I love that because it definitely counterbalances how I've now been married 10 years. I was in love 4 times until 5 walked through the door, and now I've been married. Congratulations, dude. 10 years. That is awesome, man.
We must do her well.
I hope we can
I
last 10
can't believe
years.
she's on our ship. Hey, don't be fooled by appearances.
I never had any
She
girl,
needs us
never
more
was
than
in a
we need her.
relationship. My happy life single.
She is the
I think I don't mean to laugh. I don't know if you're saying that as a joke or if you're saying that as a lonely man. But hey, dude, nothing wrong with being single. I can tell you that. Nothing wrong with being single. Do what you gotta do, man. Megan's birthday is today, by the way.
Aya, already showing Bayek the best places to make love, huh?
Enough, Fox. It is time to make war.
Hey, you. Hey, you. What you playing around for?
Brothers at
Kitty's
sea.
all over the place.
Today we carry a precious cargo. Queen Cleopatra.
But yeah, Smokescreen, like I said, I'm not trying to make light of your situation at all. I'm not trying to sit up there and say that, you know, I understand it hurts. I understand it sucks. Trust me, all of us have been, well, I guess with the exception of Abhang, but all of us have been through that before. My wife was previously married as well, and she was with that guy for how long? 7 years she was with that guy. 7 years of her life down the drain. And she could have easily just kept on going back to him, which she was. He was cheating on her, he was doing her wrong, and everything like that. And she would, you know, forgive it and go back and try to make things work and all that, only for it to end in the same result as always, which is her being hurt and being left high and dry and being the one looked stupid, you know. And every single time she felt like she had an out and she could have, you know, what if she changes? Dude, here's the thing though. Here's the thing. If she changes, let's say that she does change. No, I'm not going to say, because I do feel like people can change. I do feel like people have bad traits about them, and there are people who out there who are hooked on drugs. And, you know, a lot of people give up on them because they feel like they won't be able to quit those drugs. But they do quit those drugs. And, you know, everything is go. But I think that if she does change, you're not going to be the one to trigger the change in her, for one. And number two, I don't think you should stick around to see when she changes. I don't think you should be next to her. I think that you should let her change on her own. I think she should earn you back. Honestly. I think you need to do what you do, enjoy your single life, or whatever the case may be. And if she really truly loves you and wants to be with you, have her earn your trust. Have her earn your respect. Because as I told you, great relationships are built on a foundation of... Would you stop biting my foot? Stop it. Little Riri. But great relationships are built on a foundation of trust and communication. She's cheated on you 3 times. You forgave her, but you don't trust her. And you can sit up there and lie to yourself and say, oh, I do trust her. No, you don't. Anybody who cheats on you even one time, it chips away at that trust. I can't even say chips away. It eats it away. It corrodes that trust to the point where it's just like, well, damn. Like, I don't know if she's telling me the truth or not. Every single time she leaves out of the house and says she's on her way to her friend's house, she could be, I mean, you know, sorry, sucking somebody else's dick. Like, you know, you hate to say this on stream live right now, but that's the case. I know that's how I would think. I know that's how most people would think. You can't sit and wait for her to change. What about you? Exactly. You're looking for her to change. Dude, when are you going to change, Smokescreen? She's not the only one that needs to change. You need to change, dude. You can't just sit around and expect somebody else to change like they're the bad person when you yourself are basically welcoming poison into your life and thinking it's okay to do that. That's not a good way to think. That's not a good way to be. And just last night you were talking about the fact that you were considering cutting yourself. You have to change as well, dude. None of your situations are going to get any better if you yourself aren't willing to change. And trust me, when you change, you'll look at her and you'll be like, she's not worth being a part of my new lifestyle. My new lifestyle has me on 10 and she is on 4. And if you can't keep up... Stop it! My kitty keeps attacking my foot for some reason. I don't know what's wrong with him. Anywho, if she's not there on your level, what's the point, dude? Change yourself. Change your way of thinking. Do what you got to do for you to make yourself feel better. And trust me, when you do, the right girl will come along. I heard I'd change anyway. I need. I heard I'd change anyway. I need to. Dude, like I said, you can change without her, dude. You're like a dog with a bone right now and everything. You gotta let it go, dude. You gotta let it go. I'm sorry, but the girl cheated on you 3 times, dude. I could see if you guys was just arguing because you forgot you guys' 1 month anniversary. It's a petty shit like that. Yeah, you can get past it or whatever stuff. But cheating? One time of cheating is bad. 3 times and you've caught her? The same girl who you said out of your mouth will go through your phone, but you can't go through her phone. Who will literally go through your phone, find nothing, but the moment that you say you want to go through her phone, it's a big deal. It's a problem. Come on now, man. That's not the type of girl you need to be with. She wants to have her cake and eat it too. She wants to cheat on you, but you can't cheat on her. She wants to cheat on you, period, and then want to turn around after cheating on you, as Mudbone so elegantly put. We can think of 3 different times in which she didn't love you. 3 different times because it's a conscious decision to lay with somebody else, dude. There's so many different factors that go into cheating. Let me break it down for you, okay? You don't just go, why does she cheat? Does she really care? Exactly. Why cheat? Why cheat? Unless you're going to tell me right now, Smokescreen, unless you tell me right now that she's cheating because you cheated on her and she was just doing it to get back at you, I literally see no other reason for her to cheat. Unless you're that terrible at sex, which, I mean, I'm not one to judge you. I'm a dude. I don't know what your sex game is like and everything, but even still, you make it work. I don't have the biggest dick in the world, no, but my wife isn't going to leave me for somebody who has the biggest dick in the world and everything just because she wants a big dick. No, if she wants more in the bedroom, she'll come to me as my wife. She'll come to me and say, hey, babe, look, I want to spice up things a little bit. How about we go to the sex store and pick up some toys or whatever stuff? Whatever. Take some Viagra. Viagra is notoriously known for making your dick at least 2 inches bigger. Never taken it myself, but I've heard the rumors. That's all I'm saying. Is that, no matter what the problem is, you make it work. Especially when you can say out of your mouth that you love somebody. If I say I love you, no matter what kind of turmoil or problems we're facing, it's never going to result in me cheating on you. I'm not going to cheat on my wife just because we argued. I'm not going to cheat on my wife just because we're not getting along. No, I've never cheated, and I'm actually good at sex. Okay, so that means she's a whore. I'm sorry. If you're good at sex and you've never cheated on her, yet she still cheated on you, what does that make her? And yet you're in love with her to the point where you want to literally throw away all of your self-respect just to get back to her, dude? Come on. This is bro time right here. Between me, Mudbone, and anybody else who's listening to this, this is bro time where we're coming to you. Thank you. Morals, dude. You gotta think of your morals, man. If you're good at sex, I mean, honestly, break it down. Because, Smokescreen, what would you tell me if this was me going through what you're going through? Sometimes you gotta be on the outside looking in and say, how would I think about this from a different perspective? If I was the one going through this, what would you tell me? Would you just sit up there and say, dude, make it work? Or would you say, dude, what's wrong with you? 9 times out of 10, you'd probably say, dude, what's going on with you, man? You are with a woman, if you're good at sex, and you treat her right, you've never done anything wrong to her, and yet here she is cheating on you on 3 different occasions? Come on, man. Come on, man. You gotta sit up there at some point in time in life and look at stuff for what it is. And what she is a hoe. I'm sorry, but she doesn't. You are what they would call, basically, I guess, like, what's that word? Can you sleep, can she? But yeah, you are basically summing up the definition of a very weak man. And no self-respecting woman, I tell you to go with what you believe because people take situations differently. It sucks badly to get hurt this bad, but I just can't. Again, I can't sleep. If you would tell me in that situation to go with what I believe, then you're literally sentencing me to death. You're literally telling me that you don't care about my feelings. If you really believe deep down that if I was doing something, if I was about to tell you that I was going to kill myself, and your rebuttal is, dude, just go with what you believe? What? Come on, man. Sometimes a person needs... Smokescreen, dude, I love you, bro. I really do. I appreciate you. I don't want you to feel like I'm coming at you or that me and Muttonbone are ganging up on you and trying to make you feel worse than how you're already feeling. That's not my goal here. And I'm sure that's not Muttonbone's goal here. Both of us are married. Both of us has been through hurt and heartbreak. Muttonbone's been through it. I have been through it. Like I said, 4 years of turmoil that I was in. Muttonbone going through his turmoil for as long as he did. Well, the 4 different women before he got to the 5th one who turned out to be the one. Smokescreen. It's gonna happen, dude. You're young. This is like, I'm 33. 33 years old, dude. I told you, dude, I started dating females and betting females when I was 15 years old. Having sex, I was all over the place, dude. I was treating women like garbage. And I can't even say like I was doing it intentionally. I just didn't know what I was doing. I thought I was okay. I care about you a lot, my guy, and suicide is different. I understand that suicide is different, but what I'm saying is essentially you're sentencing somebody to doing something that is just wrong. If you come to me and you say, dude, look, I'm really thinking about killing myself, I'm not going to tell you not going to give you any kind of ambiguous advice. I'm gonna tell you straight up, don't do it. Don't do it because it's bad for you. Obviously, it would be terrible, and I would feel sad or whatever if you hurt yourself. I would feel upset if you hurt yourself. It is the same thing with going with this girl. I'd be upset if you got back with this girl. Why? Because I know it's not gonna be good for you. Because I guarantee, as sure as my skin is black, I guarantee that if you got back with her today, I guarantee within a month, maybe less, you're going to be right back to feeling this way. I guarantee it, dude. And it's like, why voluntarily hurt yourself? Why voluntarily do that? It makes no sense whatsoever. So my job is to make sure, as your friend, that you don't hurt yourself. I'm not going to tell you to go with what you believe, because what you believe may be wrong. It may be hurting you, what you believe. If I know for a fact that what's going on within you, the decision you're about to make will result in you hurting yourself, will result in you getting hurt, I'm not going to sit back and tell you to go with what you believe. I'm going to tell you what you need to do. Because sometimes you need that tough love, Smokescreen, and what I'm giving you is that tough love. Dude, you got to get away from her, man. She doesn't love you. She can sit up there and, like I told you, you are so young and naive to believe that just expressing love, saying that word is enough. Saying that phrase is enough. Dude, you have no idea what love is. See, the reason why I tell you to go with what you believe in, because I hate when people just say she's not good. I don't want to hear that I know you don't want to hear it, but you need to hear it. If you are willing to tell me, I know you don't want to hear the truth, and if you don't want to hear the truth, that's your issue. You need to hear the truth. The truth can be harsh, but the thing is, that 8 years girl is still the same today. It's been 15 years. Dude, as I said, I'm pretty sure my ex-wife is still the same. Pretty sure she's still the same. Smokescreen, at the end of the day, dude, you gotta look at it you gotta look at it like this, dude. Honestly. And this is what it comes down to. If she, okay, let's say, no, her. I gotta go. Oh, crap. I forgot that it was class and everything. Alright, dude. Go ahead and do your thing. I'm gonna send you a message with my number after I end the stream and everything, so you can go ahead, text me or call me if you feel like it, alright, dude? But you take it easy, and don't do nothing stupid. Oh man, I remember when it was young, when I was young and stupid. I remember when I was young and stupid. I still consider myself to be young and stupid to a degree. You know, not to say that I'm stupid because I got married and everything. I love my wife to death, just because sometimes you make those dumb decisions. You know, it's not until later on in life and that you've been through literally every possible scenario you think you can handle that you can look back and say, yeah, I've definitely grown from it. But I'm 33. I'm still relatively young. I'm still relatively new to a lot of things and everything, you know. So, still going to make some dumbass decisions. But the difference between how I was back then and how I am now is I listen to other people's advice. Because I know that people who've been through it before, 9 times out of 10 know what they're talking about to some degree. And me trying to solve issues on my own literally has led to me falling almost every single time. You know, taking other people's advice into consideration has definitely helped me along in life a lot. That was a long discussion. Can you do gameplay, please? I'm actually about to end the gameplay. I'm actually about to end the gameplay. That's why I paused it initially. If he chooses correctly, this will be good for him. Yeah. But yeah, I am going to be. My bad, Abhank. I will be returning this evening to play at 6 p.m. so you guys can see more of this. I do apologize for those who showed up for the gameplay. My bad, Ab. I know I went on a therapy session rant right there and everything. My bad. But I will be returning 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to continue on where we left off and everything stuff. But my bad, Ab, and everything. I know that not everybody showed up to listen to a Dr. Phil moment. It was just but somebody was in trouble, and as I explained last night during my gameplay, if anybody is going through anything in my country, when you will come, I will sleep. When you in my country, when you will come, I will sleep. Oh, wait, 6. Okay, so basically, when I start, you're going to be asleep by the time I start. Wow. Okay. Well, either way, I still appreciate you coming by today. I'm sorry that things didn't turn out the way you probably wanted it to. My bad. Mudbone, if you haven't already, I see that you followed me. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't already and everything. I stream every day, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be back 6 p.m. Again, I apologize. Mudbone, thank you so much for your contribution. I really do appreciate it. What time is it right now at your place? What time is it, babe? 10:40. It is 10:40 a.m. In America, Eastern right now and everything. So that's what I'd be around. I did. Oh, you're in Texas. Okay, cool. Awesome. All right. But yeah, as always, I hope you guys enjoyed watching as much as I enjoyed playing. Sorry that the gameplay was cut a little bit short for the discussion there and everything, but as I explained yesterday, I take matters of the heart and suicide and all that other stuff very seriously, so I will stop a gameplay. So when you will come 6 p.m. Yeah, it'll be 6 p.m. my time, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when I will be. So it's what, 10, would you say, about 10:30 now? So in 8 hours, I will be back to stream again and everything. So mark it and everything. And if you can make it, Ab Hank, I definitely appreciate it because I always love when you're a part of the stream and everything. But like I said, if you are new here, thank you, appreciate it. If you are new here, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. It's almost 12 hours from your place to my place. Wow. I'll be sleeping. All right, dude. Well, I hope that you show up tomorrow morning then and everything. And I will see you all in 8 hours.